you know. And then we couldn't continue because I was feeling that the video was not clear. I didn't want to give you a shabby video. But funny enough, when I checked, it was even clearer than when there was power. Amazing. Okay, so welcome back. If you're just joining, I'm just going to reiterate. We had barely gone into the class before, power was interrupted. So we are learning how to make a bustier, a Princess Dart Bustier. And I said in this class, you're going to be learning how to determine how many inches you have to take off your under busts, accurate measurements and formula, you know, how many inches you have to take off your under bust to give you a proper bust cup. Okay, very, very accurate. So you're not just guessing, oh, should I take away 2? Should I take away 3 because the person is big? Should I take away 4 because the person is small and all? Okay. So now you're not going to be guessing that. Where's my calculator? I'll be needing the calculator for this class. So where is that your calculator, Glory? That your phone? So you're also going to learn how to bring your phone on the calculator for me, because if I'm working from home, calculator is in the store. So you're also going to be learning how to determine your side bust darts, how to use it effectively, and how to close it. Okay, these are effective ways of getting a proper bust here. So you just stay tuned. There is a lot for you to learn in this class. Okay, if you are just joining, this is Fashion Boss Innovation. This is our online fashion school where you learn it's live and direct, okay, via the internet. You have opportunity to ask your questions and answers are given to you immediately. All right, so just go straight into it. I'll just reiterate what we have on our pattern paper. So this is our starting point. Yeah, thank you. This is our starting point, which is also known as the origin line. Okay, it is also known as the origin line. So we had marked our vertical measurements. Okay, so the vertical measurements are measurements along your body, from your shoulder to your bust point, from your shoulder to your under bust. This is from the shoulder to the bust point. So let me write it. Bust point, that's BP. Okay, from the shoulder, this is our starting line. Starting line. Okay, it's also known as the origin line. All right, your border line. Okay, so we have from our starting line to our bust point, from our starting line to our under bust. This is the under bust. Okay, we also have from our starting line to the length of the blouse. So it's an half length. We're making a dress. Okay, we're making a dress. So this is the half length. We are going to be attaching the bottom part, which is the skirt part, to it to make it a whole dress. All right, okay, so after doing that, the next thing we are going to do is to determine our neckline. Okay, so we are going to be using a round neckline. So the width for the neckline is going to be 3.5 inches. 3.5 inches. And then the depth, we are going to be using 6 inches. We are going to be using 5.5 inches, and then when we join it together using a 0.5 to turn the neckline, it will fall down to 6 inches. Okay, so this is 5.5 inches, and then we are just going to nicely connect it with our curve. Okay, so that's the neckline. So the next thing we are going to be doing now is to determine our shoulder measurement. So our shoulder is 17 inches. We are going to divide that by 2. And when you divide 17 by 2, you're going to be having 8.5. Okay, so we impute our 8.5 here. Okay, so this is our 8.5. On this 8.5 now, we are going to be taking our 1-inch shoulder slope. All right, so these are 1-inch shoulder slope. Now we are going to be looking for our armhole curve. How do you know how many inches you need for your armhole curve? I've taught all of this in previous classes, but for iteration's sake and for those who maybe this is their first time, we are going to be dividing our bust points, our bust circumference by 6. So let me use this phone so that you see what we are saying. You can join me to do the division so you know I'm not giving you beans. So the bust point is 43 inches. So when you divide 43 inches by, I don't know how to use this kind of phones. Where is divide? It's not plus, it's divide.
This one. To divide.
It's not minus, divide. Technology, you have changed. Oh. So I'm just doing this for you to see. Where is there's no divide on this your phone.
This one is not divide.
So we have 46 divide 6 equal to, oh Jehovah, I'm not working from the store today. Let me take that again. Please, if you have your calculator there, please help us. 46 divide, how did we, how, 46, 43. So 43 divide, where's the divide? Okay, divide 6. Madam, I want divide. That's okay. Divide 6. Oh yeah, equal to. Here. Oh. Guys, I'm working from home today, so we don't have all the working tools at home.
If you put down here, you come crazy side.
Go down. Okay. 43. 43 divide 6. So when we have 43 divide 6, what we have is 7.111. Okay, so we are going to add 1.5 to it. Okay, plus 1.5. I'm looking for plus, so oh yeah, press it on plus for me. 1.5. What we are going to have will be 8.6. Okay, 8.6. All right, it is well, technology. So that is how to determine your armhole length. Okay, so 43, which is the bust circumference, divide 6 plus 1.5. So what we have is 8.6, but we are just going to use 8.5. Okay, we are going to use 8.5. All right, so from this our shoulder slope line, or if we are going to add it to it, that's 9.5. So let's take our 9.5. We are going to deduct 1 for our shoulder slope. Right, let's bring down our shoulder divided by 2 for accuracy, which is 8.5, right about here. Okay, and then we are going to connect this way like this. Okay, like that. We're going to bring down the line to create our L shape like this. And then do not forget to deduct your 1 inch for your shoulder slope. You bring it here, right? So we have successfully done that. And then you take your curve, okay? So if we are not doing a princess dart, if we are not doing a princess dart, we would have come in here by 0.5. Look for the middle, look for the middle of our armhole. Okay, we would have looked for the middle of your armhole here. Okay, you look for the middle of your armhole, and then you come in there by 0.5. So eradicate excess bulge around the sleeve area. Okay, but we are doing a princess that this is a little more than 8.5. Let me confirm it. Okay, this is 8.75. We have to take away 0.25. Okay, so that is it. Okay, all right, so the next thing for us to do now is to get our dart leg, our distance nipple to nipple measurements. Okay, our nipple to nipple measurements. I have taught you the formula to use to get your nipple to nipple measurement. So I'm sorry about that. Things just pop up on the screen. I don't know what the problem is today. Okay, but we move. All right. So I said we are going to be using 4.5 inches for the nipple to nipple. Our bust span measurement, 4.5 inches. All right, for our bust span measurements. Okay, and then we are going to add 0.5 to it to make it 5 inches as our bust span measurement. So I'll just take my 5 inches here like this. Okay, we are going somewhere, guys, stay tuned. So I'll connect it like this. So right about now, this is our dart leg. Okay, this is our dart leg. So the next thing for us to do is to do our deduction around our armhole. This is the reason why it is called a princess dart. A dart that comes from the armhole into your darts, your nipple to nipple line. Okay, it is called a princess dart. When it goes straight like this to the shoulder, it is called a shoulder dart. Okay, you also have the bust dart, you also have the side bust dart. There are different types of darts, but this one is a princess dart. So what do we do now? We are going to measure the totality of what we have here as our armhole line. It is 8.5. Now, if you divide 8.5 by 2, you should have 4.25, okay? So I fold my tape rule into 2. This partner is 4.25, but I am not going to mark on 4.25. I am going to come down by 1 inch, okay? So from this 4.25, which happens to be the middle, or the midpoint, I'll come down by 1 inch. Okay, so after coming down by 1 inch, I will connect it into our dart leg. Okay, follow me, follow me. I'll just look for her to nicely connect it into the dart leg. Sometimes it can be clumsy, especially when you're not working from your studio. Okay, so after doing that, I'm going to come up. I'll just extend this line upward like this because we are going to need it. Okay, we are going to need it. Okay, so right about now, we'll now come to our under bust and determine how many we are going to be taking off. All right, so I told you before, okay, that I will teach you how to know how many to take off your under bust to give you a beautiful cup, right? Now, you are going to grab your bust circumference and divide it by 6, okay? You grab your bust circumference and I've come again for this calculator. I don't know how to use this for, radio. Glory, please come and give me your calculator and turn off this radio. Give me the calculator. So your bust circumference, you divide it by 6. Okay, you divide it by 6. That is, what did we have? 43. We had 43. 43. 1 minute, guys. I was looking to see if I would see a calculator because this is really choking me. Okay, so I don't know how to use this and my girl is left. So your bust circumference divide by 6. Okay, your bust circumference divide by 6. Whatever you have, you are going to divide it by 3. Okay, you are going to divide it by 3. There are different ways this formula work. Okay, I wish I could just use this so that, okay, let me see, divide 6. Okay, so what we have is 7.1, and then I'll go ahead to divide it by 6 again. Okay, what we have is 1.19, and then I will times it by 2. Okay, so I am looking for times sign now, times 2. Okay, so what we have is 2.3 blah blah blah, so I'll approximate that to 2.5. okay, I will approximate that to 2.5. That is the quickest way to know what to deduct from your under busts. Okay, that is the quickest way to know what to deduct from your under bust. So right now we have 2.3. Now you're not just going to come to your under bust and take away 2.3. okay, no, that's not what you are going to do. You are going to share that 2.2 or 2.3 into 2 places. So I am going to put 1.5 here, or 1.7. Who is this person calling? I am going to put 1.5 here. going to put 1 point, okay, and then this part I am going to put either 0.5 or 0.75, okay. So I do 1.5 here, okay, or 1.75 here. That's just how to share it. 1.75 here, okay, and then on this part I will do a 0.5, okay, and then whatsoever I have here, I'm going to bring it here, down here. One point seven here, and then I am just going to nicely connect. I am just going to nicely connect it this way, okay. I'm going to nicely connect it this way, like this, and then I'll connect the contour with a curve, okay. I'll connect the contour with a curve like this, and then I'll come here and do the same like this, okay. As you can see, we are getting a nice curve. So we have curved. As you can see, we are getting a nice curve already. So the next thing we are going to do, we are going to be deducting both sides of the armhole. So I am going to come down here by 1 inch. I'll take away my 1 inch. I'll come up here and then take away my 1 inch like that. And then we are going to connect this 1 inch now into our dart leg nicely, okay. You nicely position it. Like that. And then this other part, you also nicely connect it in. Okay, like this, okay. So we are going to be taking off this part like that. Now we'll come to this leg, this dart leg, because whatever we have taken off here, we need to replace it. We are going to nicely extend this line, okay, and then we are going to create our armhole, okay. We are going to be marking 1 inch here, and then we are going to create our armhole like this. That is our armhole, okay. So when we are cutting like this into here, and then we are cutting like this into here, okay. So we are almost done with this front panel. The next thing we are going to be doing right about now is imputing our horizontal measurements, okay. So now our bust points, our bust circumference is 43, okay. So if we divide 43 by 4, we are going to be having 10.75, okay. 10.75. 10.75. All right. So now we're going to add 0.5 inch to join this panel to this panel. 0.5 inch here, 0.5 inch here, making it 1 inch. Okay. 1 inch. If you notice on the bust line, we didn't deduct, there was no deduction that was made here. Okay, no deduction was made on the bust points. So we are just going to go ahead to add about 3 inches to it. You can add between 2, 1 inch, it depends on you. Okay, but I like having, like I always, it's better to have excess fabric than to be in shirts. Okay, now we are going to come to our underbust. Okay, the underbust measurement is 37 inches. Okay, 37 inches. So we are going to be dividing that by 4. 37 divide 4. What we have is 9.25. Okay, 9.25. I use a calculator with a bit of ease right now. 9.25. Now don't forget we deducted 2.5 from this part. We're going to replace that. Okay, we're going to replace that. Okay, now we're going to join this piece to this piece using 0.5 inch. That's making 1 inch. We are going to replace it. That is how many replacements now. And then you go ahead to add your 2 inches seam allowance. Okay, 2 inches seam allowance. That is it. Okay, and then for the waist circumference. Okay, the waist circumference, which is the half length, is 38 inches. If you divide 38 inches by 4, you're going to be having 9.5, and then you add all of this deduction. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and add 9.5, 10, 2.25, 2.25, 11.75, 12.75. So we are looking for like 14.75. Okay, which is here. Okay, so we'll just connect all of these points together. Okay, just like this, like that, and then you extend it to the armhole area, and then you extend your armhole line. Okay, so one more last thing to do, which is our side bust dart. Now, how do you determine your side bust dart? Your side bust dart is the difference between your back measurements and your back half length measurements and your front half length measurements. Okay, so let me check if we have back length measurements. Yes, for this client we do have. If you can see, back length is 17 inches. Now half length for front is 19 inches. Can you see that? Perfect. Perfect. So we are going to come here. This is the bust point, and then come here and measure 2 inches. Okay, we'll take that 2 inches, and then we are going to connect into the line, the bust line, like this, like this. Right, so we are going to be taking this off. But whatever we did here, we are going to correct this at the back. because if you don't correct it at the back, your panels won't be equal. Okay, so right about now we have successfully drafted the front panel. Okay, we are going to be drafting the back panel as well, but let's cut this off. You see what we are going to be doing at the back, how this is going to affect the back. Okay, it is important to watch how it is being cut. We are going to be closing the side bust darts. Okay, okay. So right now let's close the side darts. Okay, so what you have to do is to come to this line and then you slash to the end, but please do not slash through. Okay, after doing that you bring it here like this. Okay, you see we have successfully closed. Let me get some pins. So you are successfully closed. You can use a gum. Like I said, I'm working from home, so I don't have everything I need from home. Everything is in the work studio. Okay, so you have successfully closed your darts. And if you notice, when I was cutting, I left a little allowance here. Okay, so that it can make up when we close. So right about now, I will just go and cut off every excess I have around there like that. So as you can see, everything is equal. So this is how to draft your princess darts, and then also using your side bust darts. So we have successfully drafted this. Let us draft the back panel. Back panel doesn't take time at all, so that you will see how this will affect the back panel. In less than 6-7 minutes, we should be done with the back panel. Okay. So this is the pattern paper for the back panel. We'll just go into the drafting immediately. Okay. So we'll just take our, you can choose to do a princess dart at the back, or also choose to do a normal dart at the back. It is totally dependent on you. Okay. But let's say, I think I should do a princess dart at the back so that you will see how that works. All right. So we'll just quickly measure our bust point, which is 14 inches. 14 inches bust point. On the bust, 17.5. We don't really need the under bust for the back. Okay, so let's just go to the length. The half length is 19.5. 19.5 plus 2. So we use 21.21. Okay, just use a 21 at the back. 21. Now let me correct something. Okay, let me correct something. Okay, you remember when we were drafting when we did the front panel drafting and we did our under bust, our side bust deduction, we deducted 2 inches, okay, from the side bust. And I showed you guys on the measurements book that the back measurements, okay, the back measurement, the back length is 17 inches. If you can see it, 17 inches. While the front half length is 19 inches, the back half length is 17 inches. Okay. Now, the difference between the front half length and the back half length is 2 inches. If you deduct 17 from 19, so if you deduct the back length from the front length, what we have is 2 inches. That is 17 minus 19, or 19 minus 17 is 2 inches. Right? Now that 2 inches is what we have used to create a dart, you know, on this bust, side busts, and we've closed the dart to give our cup a beauty. Okay, now you see that 2-inch half length that we use to create our side bust darts. We are going to deduct it from this back length. So what does this mean? It means that we cannot use 19 inches for the back length. We'll rather use 17 inches. If you use 19 inches, your panels will not be equal. So we are going to be using 17 inches instead of 19 inches. So this means that we are going to be deducting 2 inches from this. We are going to be deducting 2 inches, and this is our 2 inches deduction. Okay, it is very important. Hope you get that. If you didn't get that, please ask your question now. So this is now our new half length measurement instead of this. Okay, all right. So I will take my neck width of 3.5 inches. That's what we use for the front. And we can choose to use a neck depth of 3 inches for the back. Okay, 3 inches for the back. And then we'll just nicely create a curve for our back neckline this way. Okay, that way. Oh, before we do that, I have forgotten we've not deducted our zipper allowance. So let's take away 2 inches for zipper allowance. I use 2 inches for zipper allowance. Okay, 2 inches, and then we are going to connect it all the way. and then we are going to reconnect our neckline. 2 inches was it? Hey, you guys didn't even remind me, eh? We are in this together, guys. So this is for our zipper, okay? So we are going to reconnect. So let's redo our neckline. Our neckline, the width is 3.5 inches. Okay, 3.5 inches. And then we use a depth of 3 inches for it, for the back. 3 inches. We are just going to nicely connect this with a curve. Like this. Okay, and then we are going to extend this line to the zipper. Just like that, okay? So this is our neckline. Now we are going to take our back measurement, which is 8.5 inches. It was 17, we divided it by 2, we have 8.5 that way. And then we are going to take our armhole length, which is 8.5 plus 1 inch for slants, that is 9.5. Okay, 9.5. Let's confirm our shoulder measurement of 8.5. Okay, right here. So we are just going to nicely connect it like this. Create our L shape like this. Okay, and then we'll come and deduct our 1 inch for our shoulder slope. You see that the back is not complicated at all. All the working is mostly, you know, in the front. Like this. And then we'll create our armhole. Like that. Okay. So the next thing we are going to do is to impute our dart leg, which is 5 inches. I told you guys that I'd like us to replicate the princess that's at the back. It's just the shape. It's just the shape. It's not like as if we are deducting anything from it. Let me confirm this. Okay. And then we'll locate the midpoint of this, which is 8.25, which is here. And then we'll still come down by 1 inch, just like we did for the front panel, which is here right now. And then we are going to connect. In this case, do not forget there is no deduction when deducting anything. Okay, like this, and then I'll extend the line. Okay, after doing that, I will still come up by 1 inch. Okay, so I don't run in short when I'm joining my armhole, and then I'll connect a new armhole, like a curve like this. So this is our new armhole curve. This, and not this anymore. So when we are cutting like this, and then cutting like this. Do you understand? Yeah. On this dart, we are not deducting nothing. Okay, so the next thing to impute is our bust measurement and our length measurement. Our bust measurement is 43. If we divided it into 4, we are going to be having 10.75 plus 1 to join these two panels together, that is 11, plus you go ahead to add your 11. You go ahead to add your 2 inches to it. That will give you a total of 14 inches. Okay, and then for the waistline, we have 9.5 divided into 4. It is 38 plus 1, 10.5 plus 2, 12.5 or 13. Okay, So you go ahead and add everything. So I'm going to be extending my armhole line to meet up with my bust so that we can nicely connect it this way, just like this. So in this case, we are not deducting nothing. Okay, so we have successfully drafted our back panel, but hey, let me show you how to take off some bulge. So you come to your waistline. I am going to be taking off a 0.75 here, 0.75. I'm going to be connecting it upward, so we are going to be eliminating bulges, okay, from our zippers like this. So we are taking this off. We are taking this off. We are going to replace whatever we've taken off here, so that we don't fall short of our measurements, and then we'll connect it back here like this, that way. Okay, cabbage. There is another one you should also do. That one I usually do it when I'm done sewing. You see, from this bottom I can also choose to eliminate about 1.5 or 2 inches. Okay, take this off. This I do it when I am done sewing. I want to join the bottom I want to join the upper bodies to the bottom bodies. So guys, we have successfully drafted a bustier. Please ask your question if there are any. Okay, ask your questions. What part of it, although this is not the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth life class we are doing or we've done on bustiers. There are lots of videos on bustiers on this channel. Okay, it's because I have promised you guys that any drafting I do, whether we have done it before or not, as much as I can, I'll make sure we have a live class on it. Okay guys, so this is for the back panel. Well, this is for the front panel, right? Do you understand? Back and front. So please guys, if you have any questions, do what to ask. We're going to transfer this into our fabric and then add the necessary interfacing. Okay, we'll transfer this to our fabric and add the necessary interfacing, and then we'll start stitching. All right guys, I'm going to see you in the next class. Bye for now.